This was the opportunity of my life, a paid trip to Mexico to create video content with a health and wellness retreat company called Bioculture. They had flown me down to Mexico 3 times in the last 6 months, and this was a huge opportunity to showcase my skills as a videographer, to meet with world-class brands, and to build my personal brand as well by networking with influencers and other creators. Not to mention, it was an opportunity to escape the New Jersey winter and fly down to someplace warm. But it's not all that sweet, because there's this illusion online that just because people show up with a smile, it means that everything is okay inside. And I show up with a smile, and I always put positive energy into everything I do, but upon returning home from that trip from Mexico, I cried on the fucking plane. I was looking out of the window just thinking how close I got to risking everything for this idea of perceived success in the eyes of others. When I got home, my mind was scattered and I had all these ideas of what I could do, but no idea what I will do. And I use the analogy of having too many ideas is just as bad as having no ideas at all. Up until then, I was building a video business that was focusing on working with health and wellness brands to build out video campaigns to showcase their products, their community, and ultimately, this trip to Mexico was an opportunity for me to work with these brands, to network with these people, these creators, and it was ultimately the goal, the ideal that I was setting forth for myself for the year and change prior to leaving. I had put this ideal on a pedestal, having a bunch of followers on Instagram, creating content with brands, and honestly just getting the recognition for myself that I was good at what I did. And I started to get that recognition. I started to gain the followers on Instagram. I was collaborating with some of the biggest creators on the Instagram platform. My account was flooded with notifications, but I was sitting on the beach in Tulum, Mexico, looking out at the water saying, something is missing, something is empty inside. And that ideal of the travel lifestyle, influencing entrepreneurship, it appealed to me and I needed to test the waters and actually do it, but I felt as if I had left a piece of myself at home. My girlfriend was at home, my friends were at home, they're watching through the screen, and I felt disconnected from who I really was because I was following this portrayal of what I thought I should do. Any reasonable person would take the opportunity, especially if you were in my shoes as a videographer, a 23-year-old kid who's just figuring it out himself. But when I got there, I realized that I had way too many ideas. But while I was in Mexico, I was convoluted and confused by all of the feedback that I got from these successful people who were running brands, businesses, communities, and I was told, hey, you're so good at guitar, you need to put out more music. Wow, you're so good at making videos, you have to post every day to make sure that you grow on the platform. Hey, you write really nicely and beautifully. You should share that in a book. They say, wow, you're really good at making videos for brands. Join this community and let's work together. There was all of this outside noise that was influencing me and pulling me in all these different directions. And ultimately, I couldn't take my time, energy, and attention and funnel it into one thing that would cause me to grow, my business to grow, and ultimately my life to move in one clear direction. The health and wellness retreat lasted for 5 days, and I was feeling this energy shift while the retreat was going on, but I elected to stay for another 8 nights. And we ended up staying in a beautiful villa on the beach. We had a butler, we had private service, we had security, and it was like nothing I'd ever experienced before in my life. People were handing me affogatos on the pool side. We were making content all day and producing podcasts, but something felt empty, something felt missing. Like I'd left those people that I love, the things that I love to do at home, a part of myself, the part of myself that I respected more than anything was still at home in New Jersey and not with me in Tulum. And I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity because I got the chance to put some amazing pieces on my portfolio, to work with some world-class brands, to create videos that were some of the best videos I'd created in my life. And I have a passion for filmmaking, and for me to be able to tell my story, to help others tell their story and do it from the lens of film is moving to me, is super exciting because it showed me that there is a path forward, that there are these opportunities out there, that I can use my camera to travel, that I can do the things that I love in beautiful places. We were visiting the pyramids, we were waking up and flying the drone at the sunrise and skipping through the water, and I still use this content today. However, underlying there, I felt empty. I realized that this had been what I had set my mind to achieve for a whole year. And what hurt me more than anything was to realize that this isn't exactly what I wanted. It was an amazing experience, and I'll hold it closely for a long time to come, but that wasn't what I wanted. And honestly, one of the most crushing things as you're on this creative entrepreneurial journey is to set a goal for yourself and realize you missed the mark. This all came because I set the goal to work on projects I would pay to work on with people that I would pay to work with. And what we have to understand about setting goals is to be very careful with what you ask for, because I got that exact thing, and I got it quicker than I expected. I had set that goal 12 months prior, and there I was, and I realized I had aimed short. And one of the things that hurt me more than anything, less than not achieving my goals, is realizing that the goal I had set for myself wasn't what I really wanted, and it felt as if I had to start from scratch. And this might sound pretentious. Oh, he had a butler on the beach in Tulum, and he's working with creators, and he's getting paid to travel. But ultimately, it's more important to know and feel in your heart that you love everything that you're working on more than how much you're getting paid or the aesthetics of the circumstances that you're in, how other people may perceive them. There's an analogy I shared with my girlfriend a few months prior about sailing at the sun. And this is the sail at the sun analogy. Here we are at 23 years old. This is sun. This is as much as you can get, as much money, as much travel. There's my plane right there. As many life experiences as humanly possible within this window. Here's what most people shoot for. They shoot for average, say 50%. They live a normal life, stable job, maybe some kids, but ultimately they're not experiencing all that they could. They're scared to take the risk, they're scared to look like a fool, they're scared to get outside of their comfort zone. But some people aim too high that they burn alive. And the goal with the sail at the sun analogy is to aim as close to the sun as possible without burning alive. And we all know about Icarus in Greek mythology. Icarus was a boy whose father was a craftsman, and he created him wax wings so that he could fly. But Icarus sailed too close to the sun, and his wings melted, and he plummeted into the sea, and he drowned. What I realized is I couldn't sail too close to the sun. The moral of the story is sail towards the sun, but don't fly too close. And the reason I share this is because I had realized that I was sailing too close to the sun. And that moment when I was on the plane, on the way home from Mexico, tears coming from my eyes, I had realized I had just narrowly made it. My girlfriend was still my girlfriend. My friends were still my friends. I still had a business to return home to. I hadn't dropped it all and tried to become an influencer or move to Mexico. I had just narrowly made it. In every human, there's an innate draw to success, to material things and money, but money can't say that it loves you. And neither can the likes that come through your Instagram account, or the notifications on your phone, or the invoices that get cashed, the flights. All of it is ultimately meaningless if you don't have the friends, the family, the relationships, the love in your life to actually enjoy it with. The biggest thing that I learned on this trip to Mexico is that you get what you ask for. And when you fixate on an ideal, you will get that ideal. So be careful what you fixate your mind on, because thoughts become things. And when we fixate on any goal, on any ideal, on any one thing, our thoughts become things in our life, and you become what you think about. And I constantly thought about this one thing. I want to work on projects I would pay to work on with people I would pay to work with, and that became my reality, and that's not what I wanted. I felt a bit lost. I felt confused. I felt like I had too many ideas and too many people around me telling me what I should do, and I needed to come back to myself, and I needed to return to me, to Corey, and figure out what Corey really wanted. Because there was all this outside noise from societal pressures, from the people on Instagram, from my friends, from my girlfriend, from my family, about what it means to be successful. And I listened to other people rather than trusting my own heart and my own intuition. And it was about a year ago since I sat on that plane, looking out of the window, reevaluating where I was taking my life and taking my business. And now our video business, Quantum Creations, is working on video campaigns in the same capacity that we were, but with a new intention, a revitalized sense of focus to deliver high quality video campaigns with our clients. I'm showing up for myself on camera. I'm getting excited and lit up about the projects that I'm working on with my clients. I'm stepping into this role of trusted advisory. I'm expanding my network. I'm building a team, and I'm doing it by consistently grounding my dreams in reality, putting a pen to paper and contemplating on the things that I want more than anything. And honestly, I've realized that I love videos, and I will use video as a way to express myself authentically and to help others do the same, to build their brand, to build their business, and to ultimately achieve that same authentic expression and freedom that I have found through the camera. So thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, click subscribe, get connected with me on Instagram and LinkedIn, and go sail at the sun for yourself.